Well, thankfully, unless you're willing to just try random mixes for yourself, which is very noble, there is a website which I'll link in the description box below where users go and post the mixes they've tested in the game, and it will even mention how much it costs for them to make the drug and how much they can now sell the drug for. For example, this OG Kush here, I mix it in this particular order and it will yield me these effects on the drug. And it will only cost me 31 per bud, as you can see here, but it will sell at a baseline of $171, a total of a $140 profit over the manufacturing cost, not accounting for curfew time deliveries, of course. Now that may make your eyes light up with dollar signs as soon as you hear this for the first time, but I have to follow that tip up with some potentially bad news. And that is that each customer in Schedule 1 actually have a soft budget that they can spend on a daily basis. So if you start selling more expensive mixed drugs, they'll just start purchasing less of that drug to kind of match their daily budget. But again, it is a soft budget and they're more likely to go over budget with mixed drugs, as the high prices will sometimes surpass their soft ceiling. But I should still point out that whether you sell basic weed or extremely well mixed methamphetamine, they'll still spend roughly the same amount of cash per day on drugs. You'll just have to produce less quantity. I will say this though, I recommend everyone try mixing at first, as it's really fun, but it does get old quite quickly. You'll find yourself having to resupply through deliveries nearly every single day, and it's not as nearly as easy to set up an automated drug production line. I found myself stepping away from mixing drugs and only selling base drugs at the end of the game, as I quickly grew tired of the constant resupplying. But everyone is gonna have their own play styles. I do enjoy the whole bulk production approach, and it's also a lot easier to set up at a small income disadvantage. I still found myself making more money than I needed though. Also, it's worth pointing out that the further you progress into the game, the more money each citizen is gonna have. For example, there are some customers from the uptown zone of this game that will spend over $3,000 per day on drugs, so it's something to keep in mind. Now, speaking on making tons of money, I deeply recommend you launder money as often and as early as possible.